हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। अभ्रमभङ्गरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमग्नं भजे तापत्रयापहं मिथ्यासिद्धान्तदुद्ध्वान्तविध्वंसनविक्षणः जयतीर्थाकतनिर्भासतां नो हृदम्बरे हत्तिकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्युच्चकेसरी व्यासतीर्थो भूयात् अस्मदिष्टातसिद्धये तपो विद्याविरक्त्यादि सद्गुणोगाकरानं वादिराजगुरून् वन्दे हैकृपदाश्रयान् पूज्य राघवेन्द्राय सिद्धर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे दुर्वादिध्वान्तरवये वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्रीराघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमोत्तिञ्जयाळवे आपादमणिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाप्तिं स्मरेत् तेन विज्ञाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धिन्तमनोरथाः हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. We are doing the Khandartha Nirnaya, also known as Karma Nirnaya. And in that, the Mangalacharana sloka, we saw this. Ye idyate vidhishana shakrapurvai sada makaihi rama pranayine tasmai sarvayajna bhuje namaha. This sarvayajna bhuje namaha. There, some Vishesha meanings we saw in the last class. We saw how Rama Pranayine Lakshmi Sahita Narayana. So, Ya Idyate, the first letter Ya, Ya, one who is worshipped. But that Yakara, we saw last class, that I just want to just know one more time, clarify that one or elaborate that one. Says, Yebi एभिः त्रिभिः लक्षणैः लक्ष्यं स्फुरयति रमाप्रणयने इति स्फुटं तदेव बीजरूपेण आह्वयति रमाप्रणयने. So one who is very dear to Rama, that Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana for them in Bijarupa Ya. That Ya, how it has both Lakshmi Narayana means uh, E plus R. So here, uh, as we see in Yanade Sandhi, Ikara, Ukara, Rukara, for these vowels, when Asamana vowel comes, that means for E, U, R, any vowel other than E, U, R, they come. Like for E, anything other than E has to come. For U, anything other than U comes. If the same letter comes, it becomes a Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. If it's not the same vowel, it's some other vowel. For I, U, R, it becomes Ya, Va, Ra. So, for example, Ati, Anta, Atyanta. So, whether Hasvaikara or Dirgha, it becomes Yakara. That's why it's called Yanade Sandhi. So, Yan is Ya, Va, Ra. For example, Guru plus Antargata, Guru Antargata. And Hari and Asmakam, Hari Asmakam, like that. So here, Ihi means Lakshmi. So Kimuktam Bhavati Lakshmi Narayanaha Param Brahma Ityuktam Bhavati Katham. How Yakara, how can it represent Lakshmi Narayana? Means here, Ihi is Prasiddhi for Lakshmi. How? Means Tam Padminim Im Sharanam Aham Prapadye. In Sri Sukta, we hear this. Lakshmi Devi, she is described as Ihi Lakshmi. E means to Lakshmi. Ihi means Lakshmi. So this Ihi and A, and E and A, they join, it becomes A. So iti Shravanat, because we hear that Taya Sahitaha, E Sahitaha, Aha, Yaha. So E plus A becomes Ya. That's why Ya. So Bhagavan Lakshmi Narayana iti abhihitam bhavati. So Aha iti Brahma iti hi Shruti. A iti Brahma. So A represents Brahma, E represents Lakshmi, E plus A becomes Ya, Lakshmi, Narayana. Both are indicated by the letter Ya. So that is what's is explained there. Anena eva vishayad ayascha uktaha Narayano vishaya. Then this Anubandha Chatushtaya. Now Anubandha Chatushtaya is Adhikari, Vishaya, Prayojana, Sambandha. This is called Anubandha Chatushtaya. So the Mangalacharana sloka itself, in Acharyas, all of these things, the Mangalacharana sloka itself tells the Anubandha Chatushtaya. What is the Anubandha Chatushtaya? Means the Vishaya Narayana itself is Vishaya, Narayano Vishaya. This whole work is talking about Narayana. So Narayana is the Vishaya. And Vishaya is what is the benefit of knowing about Narayana? What do we happen? Means karma viniyoga jnanam tena bhagavat prasadascha prayojanam. The prayojana is because we hear about this, we learn about Narayana, then we know what karma has to be performed. We get the knowledge, jnana. So from this, from knowing about the Vishaya, we acquire the jnana. Karma viniyoga eva jnanam. That means that jnana comes. How to perform the karma, what karma is performed, when it's performed, what will happen, all this knowledge about the karma. But that karma itself is not the thing. The knowledge, jnanenaiva param padam. So this knowledge, with that we perform the karmas. Because of that, we get the Bhagavad Anugraha. So, because of the karma viniyoga jnanena, tena, Bhagavad prasadascha, Bhagavad Anugraha, Bhagavad prasada happens. That is the prayojana. The benefit of this studying this work is Bhagavad Anugraha. That is the prayojana or the benefit, fruits of it. And who is the adhikari? Tad jignasuhu adhikari, the one who wishes to know about this, who wants to acquire the knowledge, who wants to perform the karma. He is the adhikar. Whoever is willing to do it, everyone who is willing to do it is adhikar. Adhikar means not that some extraordinary thing has to happen or nothing. All that is needed is the desire to do it, the desire to know, the desire to understand properly. That is the jignasuhu adhikari. So Vishaya, Prayojana, adhikari. Then Sambandha, Yatha Yogyam Sambandha. The Sambandha is connections. The connection between Vishaya and Prayojana. Connection between Prayojana and adhikari. Connection between Vishaya and adhikari. All this, the interlink, whatever all the interlinks are there, that is the Sambandha. So this way, this Anubandha Chatushtaya is established here. So Sodashina Anuštubena Mangalacharanena Shastrasya Shodashitva Sampadanam Atra Nirniyata iti api asuchi. Whatever is indicated is with this Anushtup Chandasu, this sloka, Mangalacharana sloka, Shastras and Bhagavad Anugraha we obtain, and this is how it is determined, this is what is indicated. And before we move on to next one, we talked about something about Oshravaya Astu Shraushat Yaja Yeja Mahe Voshat. Earlier I'm referring to that earlier part where we talked about Yajna, Yajna Purusha, Yagneshwara, Yajna Bhavana, Yajna Bhukta Chaiti. पंचात्मानम एकया उक्त्या आह सर्वयज्ञ भुजे देर्विसा चतुर्भिश्च चतुर्भिश्च द्वाभ्यां पंचभिरेव च हूयते च पुनर्द्वाभ्यां समे विष्णु प्रसीदतु इति यज्ञो यज्ञपुमान् नाम यज्ञेशो यज्ञभावनः यज्ञभुक्चेति पंचात्मा यज्ञेषु इज्यो हरिः स्वयम् इति च. There, I just wanted to refer to the Bhagavata sloka. Actually, this is Acharya has referred to that in the Chaturtha Skandha, 8th Adhyaya, 41st sloka. There, extals Narayana. The context is after the Daksha Yajna, Daksha is, kind of killed, or his head is cut off because of Virabhadra, Rudra sends, all that story, Daksha Yajna thing. After everything happened, then they go and appease Rudradeva to excuse him, and then he gives the goat head to Daksha, and then they want the yajna to be completed, and Rudra gives permission, okay, let the Vaishnava yajna accomplished. So the yajna is all finished and everything. At that point, lot of people will think, on a Shivasarvottamatva is whatever is the goal there, but not, because after that, all the devatas, Brahma, Shiva, and Dikpalakas, everybody extols Narayana. And in that context, after Brahma, Rudra, they are all extolled. Agni Deva also, he extols Narayana. He says this, Yat Tejasa Aham सुसमिद्धतेजा हव्यं वहामि अध्वर आज्यसिक्तं तं यज्ञं पंचविधं च पंचभिः स्विष्टं यजुर्भिः प्रणतोस्मि यज्ञं. So yet tejasa, because Agni Deva is able to do all this because of the Shakti given by Paramatma, the Teja Prasadaka Te. So yet tejasa, by whose Samarthya, Paramatma Narayana's Samarthya, he gives the ability to Agni Deva. What ability he gives? Because Agnideva is saying, because of your help, your assistance, your granting the grace to me, what I am doing is I am having some ability to do something. What is that? Susamidha tejaha means samyak iddha means grown something that is enhanced tejas. So because of my bhavane that you are the puja, because of that I get my strength grows because of my understanding that you are the devate, you are the puja, you are being worshipped. With this knowledge, my tejas also increases. Then aham, that is Agni Deva is saying, I, the Agni Deva, adhvare, in that yajna, whatever yajna is happening, in that yajna, ajya sikta, ajya means ghee, sikta means drenched in ghee. So Adya Siktam Havyam, the Havisu that is soaked in combined with ghee, Wahami. When it's offered to me, the Yajna Karta gives to me, and the Agni Deva, he is called, that's why he is called Hutavaha. He carries that and gives to all Devatas. So he is like a distributor. So Agni Deva, so he says, Havyam Vahami. I go and distribute to the Devatas. Tam Panchabihi, there in the Bhagavata, it just Panchabihi Yajurbihi. Yajurveda, five mantras. With that five mantras, Swishtam, Suishtam, Swistam. Su, excellently, in a nice way. Ishtam means Ishti. Ishtam means like, basically not dear. It means actually whatever yajna is being worshipped. So, nicely, greatly worshipped, properly worshipped. Panchavidham, five kinds of vigraha. Paramatma has five rupas. Of course, he has many rupas. In this context, he is worshipped in five rupas. What are those five rupas? Yajna, Yajna Purusha, Yajnesha, Yajna Bhavana, Yajna Bhuk. These are the five forms that Paramatma takes. And because of that, Yajniyam, Yajnam, Pranatosmi. Because of Yajna Niyamakatva that you are doing, hey Narayana, you are the Yajna Niyamaka. That's why you called Yajna. One who controls all the Yajna is the Yajna. The controller of that is called by the same name. So you are called Yajna because you are the controller of all the Yajnas. Such Lord you are, I am bowing down to you. Pranatosmi. I do namaskara to you, O Narayana. This is what Agni Deva is saying. And there, Acharya explains in Bhagavata Tatparya, this slokas, he says, Yajna Yajna Pumanschaiva Yajnesho Yajna Bhavanah Yajna Bhukcheti Panchatma Yajnesh Vidyo Harihi Swayam. So the pramana, Acharya gives this pramana from Shrutis and Smritis that Paramatma is called these five names, Yajnaha, Yajna Puman is Yajna Purusha, Yajnesha, Yajna Bhavana, Yajna Bhuk. So these five forms he is worshipped. Yagneshu Ijyaha Hari. Hari Swayam Ijyaha Pujyaha. In these five forms, Panchatma. And how he is done, the Yajur mantras also Acharya quotes in Tatparya says, Ashravayastu Shaushad Yaja Atho Ye Yajamahe Vashatkaraantakairnityam Yajurbihi Pancharbihi Vibuhu. Tantrasara. From Tantrasara, Acharya quotes this and he says, there, if you see, like the mantras that are told us, Chaturbihi, Dvabhyam, Panchabihi, Huyatecha, Punah Dvabhyam. So that pramana also that we saw, Yajnapaman there, Chaturbhischa Dvabhyam, Panchabhirevacha, Huyatecha, Punardvabhyam, Same Vishnu Prasidatu. That one is described here, and Chaturbihi, 4 and 4. What are the four that says Ashravaya Chaturaksharam, Astushravshatu iti Chaturaksharam. Ashravaya, Oshravaya. So Ashravaya and Oshravaya basically O address Ashravaya, Oshravaya iti Chaturaksharam for Ashravaya, Oshravaya. So that's four aksharas. Astu Shrav Shat. Shat means actually is like one letter only, one akshara. So Astu Shrav Shat. This is also Chaturakshara, four aksharas. Yaja, Yaja, dvi akshara, two aksharas. Ye Yajamahe, Ye Yajamahe, panchaksharam. Again, Dvakshara Vashat, Vashatkara, Vashat, Vaushat, Vashat. Just as Voshravaya, Ashravaya, like that, Vashat to Vaushat. These are two aksharas. So this is how Punah Dvabhyam. Same Vishnu Prasidatu. So these are the way it is being done. So Acharya explains this in Bhagavata Tatparya in the fourth skanda, 8th adhyaya. There this is referred. So there it comes. So I just wanted to refer back where in Bhagavata this is mentioned. So this is where in mentioned in Bhagavata also. So then uh, after this Mangalacharana Padya Artha Nirnaya, we enter that, and in the text itself, this is not there, but it is intended. Acharya did not put in the work itself, but it would have mentioned orally. So it is being explained is Yadyapi Mulakosheshu Mahanamninam Ityadi Brahmana Vakyam Napathyate तेन भगवत्पादेन प्रवचनकाले मूलवाक्यं न पठितम् एव इति नार्थः. Just because in the Mula Kosha itself, this sutra, this Aitareya Brahmana, this one is says Om Mahanamni Nam Upasarganu Upasujati. This particular thing uh, is not there in the Mula Kosha. That doesn't mean Acharya didn't say that. Acharya in Pravachanakala would have told that, and the reason, probable reason, is explaining Bhagavatpada Sishyanam Yagnikanam Ujerya Panditanam cha Sarvopi Brahmana Bhagaha Mukhodgata iti na prayaha Lipibaddham Chakruhu iti bhati. Lipibaddha, that means it's not written in the work itself, because this is everybody, they're assembled, they are Mukhodgata, they know this by heart. So this obvious thing. So that's why it not put. So tatra tavat prathamam ujerya panditaihi jigishaya पृष्ठस्य ऐतरेय ब्राह्मणस्य षोडशाध्याये चतुर्थखण्डस्य व्याख्यानम् उपक्रमते. So now Acharya is starting from that, is in first part, no, that Ujeriya Panditaihi Jigisha, the Ujeriya Panditas, we talked about the background of it, that the Panditas there from that Ujeriya township, they ask question that Aitareya Brahmana 16th Adhyaya, 4th Khanda, Vyakhyana, what is that? Give the Vyakhyana for that. They thought, Acharya would not know because he's only sannyasi, he doesn't know the karma bhaga or whatever. So that's what they thought. When they ask, Acharya is giving the detailed explanation for that. So that's what is it. Mahanamni nam रुचाम उपसर्गा ये उपसर्जन भूताः तान उपसृजति संयोज उपसर्जनम संयोज पुटिंग टुगेदर putting to upasarjana upasujana means putting them samyojana, that is connecting, putting them together. This is how they are put together. So mahanamni namiti kimatra vishesham, what is speciality of this means ऐतरेय अरण्यके प्रथम घट्टकस्य षष्ठ अध्यायात् आरभ्य उपनिषद भवति. So the Aranyaka Upanishad. So Aitaraya Aranyaka, in that one, Prathama Praghattaka, the first Praghattaka, whatever is there, in that sixth Adhyaya, starting from the sixth Adhyaya, whatever is there, it's called Aitareya Upanishad. So that's why it's called Mahaitareya, means that Upanishad, and then earlier part, later part, everything put together, it's called Mahaitareya Upanishad. So this is what it is. So this is A means up to Dvitiya Praghattaka. So starting from there until the Dvitiya Praghattaka, Samhatya Navadhyayi Bhavati Upanishad. So the Aitareya Upanishad is 9 adhyayas. So this is how the 9 adhyayas comprise of. And Tadante punaha ekah khandah patyate. After that, another khanda segment is read. And all this together is yam mahanamni khandadhyaya ityachakshate. So all this put together is called mahanamni khandadhyaya. That's what it says is ityachakshate. Mahanamni nam khanda iti. So yeah. Before that is Upanishad. Yeah. That's why it says yam mahanamni khanda. So tadante punaha ekaha khandaha pat. So that means after the Upanishad eka khandaha patyate, one khanda is read. That is called mahanamni. So yam mahanamni khandadhya ityachakshate. That is after the Upanishad, what comes is mahanamni khanda. That's what it says. Mahanamni nam khanda iti. सामवेदे अपि महानाम्न्यार्चिक इति अत्र संशयते किमत्र विशेष्यमिति. So the question comes, so what is so special about? What is it? What is it? So that's why it says ata aha mahanamninam rucham iti. So basically this comes after the Upanishad, this mahanamni comes. Mahanamninam rucham iti nanu tathapi mahanamnam ityeva vaktavyam. So this is how it goes. Yeah, I think I'll stop here. So whatever questions are there, we'll cover that, and then we'll continue what is being told after that. We'll continue
Saktang,
that. Nah.
Saktang Namaskar, Keshwara.
Yeah.
So I'm a little the Khandartha Nirnaya is electrifying, of course.
Yeah.
But my question is,
Mhm.
I'm genuinely confused now.
Yeah.
For several reasons. One, you're telling me that this Mahanamni Khanda is after the Upanishad. I thought Upanishad was like the end of everything.
Illa, illa. It comes after the Upanishad. See, here it
How can it
says,
be possible? Then this would be called Upanishad. Why are they calling the
no,
Aitareya
this is
as
called
Upanishad then?
Mahanamni Khanda. See, the Upanishad is Tadante Punaha Ekaha Khandaha Patyate. So Tadante, that means after the Upanishad is finished, then one Khanda is read.
See,
That is
But
called
how can there
Mahanamni.
be a Khanda after the
the
Upanishad?
Aranyaka is 15 chapters, okay? The Aranyaka has 15 chapters. In that, the 15 chapters, so from 6th to 14, before 6th is the Aranyaka portion. From 6th to
It is like
14,
embedded in between.
6 to 14 is the Upanishad part, and after that is Mahanamni. The Veda goes straight. Veda goes continuous,
One big
right?
string. That's
Samhita, that portions, each portion together.
Aranyaka.
Samhita, Aranyaka, Upanishad, and after that it comes the Mahanamni, the chapter. Totally, the Aranyaka, the Aitareya Aranyaka totally has 15 chapters. First 6 chapters. So the 6th chapter is what? Mahavrata. After that 6th chapter to 14th chapter or 14 parts, whatever.
Sixth chapter onwards. Sixth also.
6th
Sixth to
14.
9 chapters. So 6 to 14. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14.
These are the 9 chapters. So this Navadhyaya is Upanishad. 9 Adhyaya is Upanishad. Then one is
Mahanamni.
Khanda. Mahanamni Khanda. So that will make all 50.
So basically Mahavrata is 1 to 5. 1 to 5 is Mahavrata. Okay. And that is the Samhita and Brahmana portion, something. It's not Brahmana portion. It's some Aranyaka portion. It's the Aranyaka portion. Then from 6 to 14 is Aitareya. Atma Upanishad, what they call Atma and Samhita Upanishad, they call it, right? 6 plus, first 6 is called, after the, from 6th.
6 to 14.
6 to 14. In that 9, the first 6 is called Atma Upanishad. And then the next 3 is called Samhita Upanishad. So totally 9 parts are the Upanishad. After that, the 15th one is called in Aranyaka, in Aitareya Aranyaka, the last one is called Mahanamni.
If you take that Upanishad, it's like embedded, it's in between. So after the Upanishad,
how can it be? That is my question. My question is, we have been
Upanishad
taught.
is the Sara, and usually what they say is like Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishad.
I
Yeah,
thought
That's all they
yeah.
stop.
Ityupanishad,
Normally that is the case.
like if you look at Taittiriya Upanishad,
Yes.
Ityupanishad, that's it. Brahmananda Vali ends.
And
Then this one ends.
after that, Mahanarayana comes, right?
No, no, no,
Aitareya.
no. No, 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 no. I
Mm.
think it's the reverse.
Oh,
After
Mahanarayana is
Yeah,
first
Mahanarayana,
one.
the
yeah.
Taittiriya begins.
Mahanarayana and then Taittiriya.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I am confused now. What you are telling me is the reverse of what happened in
Not
Taittiriya.
really reverse. Yeah, still the Arnyakas 1 to 5 are still there, right? That's the Arnyakas start.
No, what he says is
No,
Upanishad is the
yeah,
end.
I know Upanishad the end.
End.
This one is the exception. That's why this is the one case where Aranyaka has like a tail, it's left a little more after the Upanishad. This is a special case.
Mm-hmm. The first time I missed it when Bananja was you know how it is.
Dhananjay has detailedly
No,
explained
no,
this.
no, no. Yes, yes. He certainly, of course. But I missed that part. This is the first time, and also it sort of makes sense because he is talking about Mahavrata. So he has to end with Mahanamni. Then that kid has to get Upanishad
Yes,
understanding.
yes,
Only after Upanishad understanding will he be able to do the Mahanamni Vrata anyway.
yes.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise, how will he do
Yeah.
the Mahanamni Vrata?
See,
yeah.
that is why Acharya says, no matter what your Shaka, what your
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Upanishad,
need to read
that is
Aitare.
comes as one of the samskaras.
Yes,
Upanishad
Mahanamni.
Vrata,
Yes.
Mahanamni comes.
Yeah.
Upanishad Vrata, there if you see that the Shodasha Samskara, Upanishad Mahanamni,
Mm-hmm.
Upanishad Vrata Mahanamni, then
Mm-hmm.
only Samavartana.
Mm-hmm.
So there itself it is clear.
See, this
So
one
my
is
question now is,
yeah.
my question now is, so you said like there is an Aitareya Upanishad and a Mahaitareya Upanishad. So you are saying if you include Mahanamni, it becomes Mahaitareya? Is that what
No,
you
no,
mean?
no, no,
Or
no,
is
no.
No, no.
Aitareya itself called
Mahaitariya
Mahaitareya?
Upanishad.
Mahaitan means yeah.
Acharyas is See, basically, if you take Bananjay says, I'm just basically quoting Bananjay. Bananjay Acharya says there's a Shadguru Shishya. He has done the classification. Then Sayanaru, he has done a
Mm-hmm.
classification. What they cover is they don't cover the sixth chapter. Mahavrata they don't cover. If you
See,
take
this
any
9 adhyayas itself they don't prove completely.
first
That's why this Navadhyaya is actually Mahaitaraya.
in the nine, the first one is comes under the first Pragataka, it comes. That is Mahavrata. If you see in other texts, Mahavrata is that the Aranya section, Mahavrata is never covered.
Mm-hmm.
They cover in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
They take only 8 adhyayas, I think,
Ayo
others.
Rama,
They
it
also
did
take
they
nine,
so
they
they
include
take
the
the
Shanti
Veda
Mantra.
itself, they're taking the Veda itself, they're dividing it into Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and then in Jnana Kanda also they're taking only like a very few sections of Jnana Kanda and then finally get it to Panchamahawakyas.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is, if I go to a regular place and I say Aitari Upanishad, you are saying they are dropping the first how many ever 6 adhyayas and
Yeah.
only picking up the remaining 9 adhyayas then,
Remaining 8.
or whatever that number happens
Yeah,
to be.
Yeah.
their classification is different. For example, some people classify three chapters, like 5 chapters plus 5 chapters plus 3 chapters. They classify like 8 total. We said 9, right? 5 and 3, some
Mhm.
people say. Some people say 6 and 2. By 6, they include that Shanti Mantra also, they include, or something
So
like that.
whatever they are doing, they're not having 9.
Yes,
They're
they
getting
don't
at
have
They
the
most
not
8.
have 9.
And
They
what
have
you're
only
saying
8.
is
Yeah.
when we say 9, we mean that's the reason why it is called Mahaitareya as opposed to regular Aitareya, which has 8. And this 8 is kind of like mixed up in 6 plus 2, 5 plus 3, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, nobody, including us, include Mahanamni in the Mahaitareya Upanishad or
No,
Aitareya
no, no,
Upanishad
no,
or
no.
any Upanishad.
No, because this is called Mahaitariya for another reason. See, the sixth adhyaya, the 6 adhyayas, right? The 6 adhyayas are called Atma Upanishad. And the next 3 adhyayas are called Samhita Upanishad.
And the two combined together are
Yes,
called
totally
Mahaitareya Upanishad.
9. So it is not just Aitareya, it is Mahaitariya Upanishad.
Okay. But it doesn't include the Mahanamni.
Oh,
No,
no,
no, no, no.
Mahanamni is
Mahanamni
separate.
outside Upanishad.
Okay.
Outside,
It's
totally
after
outside.
Wow.
the Aitareya Upanishad comes Mahanami.
It is a karma basically, right? Majorly, yeah.
So it's a very nice exception, which I didn't realize at all up until
You
now.
know, what
Yeah.
you do is when you have time, I would strongly suggest you to go and refer the Bananje's intro for not these things, just the introduction,
Okay.
where he has explained how the Mahavrata, how the 25 days also he has explained.
Okay.
And then he comes to how the Shadguru Shishya he classifies, and how Sayana
Sayanacha.
Acharya is classified, how Acharya Madhva is classified, and we don't call it Aitareya Upanishad, we call it Mahaitariya Upanishad. Atma
Mm.
Upanishad, Samhita Upanishad, plus also the Mahavrata, that portion also comes with Indra doing all those things, it comes. So
Mm.
that's why it is only Mahaitariya Upanishad.
Mm. Samadhana itu, it is very, very nice. Super interesting. I mean, like every aspect about this Grantha is not only super interesting, super complicated, super everything.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, we understand only a small fraction of whatever you're
Yeah.
describing. But
Whatever
this
they
is a
are,
very,
they are
very
guiding
major
us.
thing
Yeah.
for me. I did not know that there was anything. So then, here is what I'm trying to say. Remember how they say Vedanta is Antaha Vedaha Vedantaha instead of saying Anto Nirnayaha Vedantaha, like,
Yes.
right? So then, by their own definition, the Aitareya Upanishad cannot be Antaha Vedaha
No,
Vedanta.
no,
It
no, no,
cannot
no,
be.
no, 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 no. This is the way. This is the way. See, Aitareya Aranyaka, it is like Aitareya Aranyaka ends at 14, and so the Upanishad is 6 to 14.
Haudu, but there is
Aitareya
something after that,
Aranyaka.
no. No,
Yeah.
no, no. What I'm saying is, there is something
Okay.
after that.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
there is something after that,
Mahanami
this
is there
cannot
after
be
that.
the
After
ending.
that. Yeah.
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 So by their own definition, they have to give a Artha Sankuchita. So, ಅವರೇ ಅರ್ಥ ಸಂಕೋಚ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ.
Yes.
Right? Because they'll have to say, no, 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 no. Anto ನಿರ್ಣಯ ವೇದಾಂತಃ ಅನ್ಲಾರ್ದೆ ವೇದಸ್ಯ ಅಂತಃ ವೇದಾಂತಃ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು then they have to say, but, Aitareya is still an Upanishad, even though it is not at the end of the Veda ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to say, oh, this is an exception or something.
Something like that
But
they will have to say.
yeah. But if you say Nirnaya, Anto Nirnaya, then it is
Then
fine.
Vedanta, it will
Nirnaya
become
is
Vedanta Sutras.
Upanishad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nirnaya
well,
is Upanishad.
Upanishad makes the Nirnaya.
Nirnaya.
Upanishad makes
Mahanami is the.
Nirnaya. No, 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 no. Yes, but
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is, then you can
But
also
they have
say,
told you.
Anto
Okay.
Nirnayaha, Vedanta Sutraha Nirnayaha, ಅಂತಂದು ವೇದಾಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Samadhana, this is
Yeah.
very interesting. I did not
You
know.
can you
Yeah.
just listen to Bananjay's intro for this.
Okay,
It's
I'll
very
do that.
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Where is that? Is that some recording?
Yeah, that is a recording. Venkatesh will be having it. It is in Kannada.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
have to
But
figure out where
most
it
of
is.
it is a Samskrita Shabda. So
So
you can, I
you
think
can
you can.
hear, and the Samskrita part you can probably grasp, and
If not, we can go over it
yeah,
too.
we can go.
We can go over it too.
I myself haven't heard, so I will also hear.
Yeah, I've heard it at least several times to get some. It's very
I'm
difficult.
more like in on the commentaries, and so
Mirachi, do you have it handy? Because I'll have to search in CDs.
No, I will have to search. I will search it.
I will also search.
I will search
Back,
it.
this is Vivek, this is during the CD days.
CDs,
We
yeah.
used to have like a
Yeah,
suitcase full
let
of
me
CDs which
give me some
have
time.
gone
Not
to,
this week. I mean, next
yeah.
week. Yeah, next week because got to search where he said whether he said it in
Whether
Upanishad.
he said it during the Khandartha
Yeah.
Nirnaya or what was
No.
it?
Three things he said. One, he gave just based on Vedas. So that one separate. And then Mahaitareya Upanishad he gave one. And also here.
Mm.
So
So
definitely not Khandartha because
if it is not part of Khandartha, then I'll have to
it's
find out
not
where.
it's not part of Khandartha. It is either independently as a Vedas like that, or most likely Mahaitariya Upanishad intro. The first first two cassettes, CDs. First track,
Yeah.
second track, probably. I will search it. I'll
Yeah.
search it.
But you know, back in the day, I did not listen to Sri
See,
Bananja Achar when he gave standalone commentaries because that would go forever, right? Remember? So I used to try and see where he would do it as a patha, so we could stay where he was without the diversion. Remember?
see,
And so
basically
so
what I did was I forget, so I usually make a notes. So the
okay,
notes I have, but it was made some 20 years back, so I
yeah,
didn't specifically write where from I
where you
picked that
found it,
notes.
yeah,
I just put it as Mahaitari Upanishad. So
yeah.
I had to, yeah.
But
I have
Vivek, even if it
Okay,
is in
okay.
Kannada,
Yeah, I
hmm,
got it. I got it. It says I marked it as CD 02 of Mahaitari Upanishad.
okay, so it's in Mahitari Upanishad.
Yeah, CD 02.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So this one, when you explained the Sarva Yagya Bhuje, so that is describing the Panchabheda.
Yeah.
And here the Yagya Purusha, Yagyeshwara, Yagya Bhavana, Yagya Bhokta, these
Yeah.
are the five different Vedas it is mentioned here.
Yeah.
The first uh, shloka there, Chaturbhischa Dvabhyam Panchabhireva,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that one, the context I did not understand. So that is one question. There was one
Yeah.
more question I have.
Yeah.
Is here O Shravaya
Mhm.
Astu Shroshat
Mhm.
and Washat. So
Mhm.
Washat, we when we do the this
No. One more you missed. O
hmm,
Shravaya
hmm.
Astu
Astu Shraushat.
Shraushat.
No, he
Yaja.
translated.
Third one is
Yaja,
Yaja.
uh,
Fourth one is
Ye
He Yajamahe.
yajamahe Vaushat.
Fifth
Wash.
one is Vaushat. Vashat is in Veda, it is told as Vaushat. They split it.
Hmm. Oh, okay. And so here the question was this: is this like when you before you do the, for example, japa, you do the
Mhm.
anubandha.
Yeah.
So is that related to the washat and shroshat? Is that related to this thing?
Yeah,
What?
see,
Hmm.
yeah, another reason is if you see that in Samskrita, dvau,
Hmm.
aukara is dvivachanatmaka.
Hmm.
So we have two ears,
Hmm.
two eyes.
Hmm.
That's why that astu shraushat, you touch two ears. That's why it's in
Uh-huh.
shraushat.
Hmm.
Same way, vashat kara, we don't say vaushat kara. Even Vishnu Sahasranama, we say
Hmm.
vashatkara.
Uh,
Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Vashatkara. So Kara, when we put, we say Vashatkara only. It's a Vashatkara. But when we
Mantra.
do the mantra rupa and also when we do the nyasa when we do,
uh,
that when two are there, like two eyes. So we
hmm.
touch and we change.
Vaushat.
So that's why Vashatkara becomes Vaushat because of the two. Two-ness
Uh,
brings that akara, it makes the aukara. So Vashatkara, we never say Vaushatkara. It's only
No, but
Vashatkara.
Shikha, but they say Shikha Vaushat. So that is
Yes,
wrong then.
yes.
Shikha Vashat antanbeka
Yeah,
hagadre.
illa. Ad Vashat when we do what we say, another thing is Hari Harau. Saptami also it becomes Au.
hmm.
Mm.
So Shikhayai Vaushat. So Shikhayai Vashat is not the Shikhaya Vaushat. Even when we say Shikha, because of the Saptami, it becomes Vaushat.
But then the Netra also becomes Vaushat by virtue of Saptami, no?
No, see the Vashatkara, when we do Nyasa, that Vashatkara, when you put a Kara, it is only Vashat. But when you take out the Kara and you only Vashat, you say
Mm.
Vaushat. So
Okay,
that
got it.
when you remove the Kara, it becomes Vaushat.
Mantra is Vaushat.
Yeah.
Reference is Vashatkara. Yeah.
Netrabhyam Vaushat, Shikha
Yes.
Vaushat. So the Vaushat that I have been saying is correct.
Yes.
Yes,
But
yes.
the idea is Vashat, it
Yeah.
is getting transformed because of the Vibhaktis.
Yes.
Okay, dhanyawad. Then this Panchabheda is only.
Yeah, the Panchabheda is the number of letters we are talking about. Chaturbhihi, four letters. You
Hmm.
say O Shravaya. That O Shravaya, four letters, four aksharas. So
Hmm.
by four aksharas. Same way, Chaturbhihi, Chaturbhi. The second one also Astu Shraushat. That's
Hmm.
also four. Four aksharas.
Hmm.
And then ya, ja, two aksharas. Ya, ja, dvabhyam. That is two aksharas. Panchabhi, five aksharas. Ye, ya, ja, ma, he.
Hmm.
Panchabhi. Those are by five letters. Again, cha puyate, cha punah dvabhyam. Again, two. Vau, shat. That
Hmm.
is two aksharas. So this is number of aksharas is referring to.
So totally, if it comes in Vedas, Vishnu Ahuti, when they give the Vishnu Ahuti in these mantras, it is a 17 Akshara mantra.
Hmm.
What are those 17 Akshara mantras? This is what it is.
Okay.
Chaturbhet, when you add it, it is 17. It is the Vishnu Ahuti mantra. This is
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Vishnu
okay.
mantra.
Makes sense. So this is the mantra in the during this Karma Kand, which is described in this
Yes,
Mahanam.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
basically in the Mangaladana itself, by saying Sarva Yajna Bhuje, he's saying
Mm-hmm.
Sarva Yajna, all is five forms. The
Mm-hmm.
five forms are Yajna, Yajna Purusha, Yajnesha, Yajna Bhavana, Yajna Bhu. All these five forms by these five mantras.
Even in Bhagavata, it says, see, when you do any yajna, whatever it is, jnana yajna, whatever yajna, these five are important because yajna, when you say yajna, that is what Nishusi, the Ganapati, same thing meaning. Yajna, when you refer, he is the entire kriya. Yajna refers there as yajna, he is standing. The five things, right? The altar is four in the center. Five things are there, right? So as a yajna, he
Yes.
is the entire kriya it comes. Kriya and the karta it comes. Then yajna purusha is the rupa with which he does svikara, acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
But yajna ishvara, whatever niyamana has to be done, how they do, they will put like Yajurvedis, they will arrange these things, they will put this ahuti, this samit, that is all there. Well, Kali, Karali, Manojaba, Sulohita, where exactly how to put, where not to put. So all this niyamana. So the niyamana is Yajneshwara. And then Yajna Bhavana is creating all the vastus and padarthas and everything. So Yajna Bhavana is the nirmana of everything. Then Yajna Bhokta is the Phalarupa. That is the center one. Phalarupa. So
Okay.
in Ramayana Kala, you see the goddess, God, he came from the in the center of it, and Draupadi, those things, he came in the center. So it is a Phaladatru, that is the Yajna Bhokta.
Mm-hmm.
So these five things are whenever you do puja, whenever you do. So this yajna is basically again puja only. So this five is always there. This is all five are Bhagavanta.
Actually,
He
is an
does.
interesting thing. Vishnu, it says, right? That Vishnu itself has this. If we do an anusandana like this, no, Yara Lava, Vakara is four. That is V, four. Then Sh, Yaralava Sasha, the sixth one, but in the first is in Yaralava, four, Sasha is two. So four where, and the Shakara is from Yaralava and Shasha. So four plus two, six. So the Chaturbihi Dvabhyam. Then Tata Dada Na, Nakara, Vishnu, no, Nakara is five. That is Panchabhi. So
Mm-hmm.
Chaturbihi, Dvabhyam, Panchabhi, Vishnu. And Vishnu, no, that Visarga is Rakara actually, ya, Ra. So again that Punaha Dvabhyam, that Rakara, ya, Ra. So again you have Dvabhyam, two. So this
Oh,
way in Vishnu Shabda, you can see Chaturbihi, Dvabhyam, Panchabhi, Punaha Dvabhyam. You can see that in Vishnu Shabda itself.
wow. That,
Same way, same thing they say. You forget how many sutras are there. 564. So they say the same thing. Vishnu,
Yeah,
Arkanam,
564 Vishnu.
Vamatogati. So the Sha and Sha, they
mm,
consider interchangeably. So it is, how many sutras are there? Vishnu Pratipadya. So it is 564, like that.
nice. Dhanyawad. Many, many sastang namaskar.
Narayan.
Sashtang Namaskar, Keshwara.
Hare
This
Shiva,
was
Namaskar.
Hare.
Hare.
this
Now,
is really, really, really awesome.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will be
We are
coming to
coming to
your
Connecticut
on May 20th.
19th night,
Okay.
20th morning.
20th
Yes.
in time for
So we'll be in time for your function.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, then
Also,
when I
oh
get
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah. We have some exciting news. So he has got into University of Michigan Computer Science.
Very good, very
Okay,
good.
very good.
Yeah, so it's like really, really, we are like super excited about it. He got
Very
into
good.
University of Maryland
Okay,
Computer Science, and in their honors and scholars program.
very good.
And
Okay.
then, so the only thing that is missing for us right now is that Cornell came back and then put him on wait list, and then Carnegie Mellon came back and put him on wait list. So those are the two things that are still outstanding. But
Oh,
we are very, very pleased with Michigan, which is
okay.
ranked very, very high in
Oh,
computer
very good.
science.
And
Uh,
did they say Cornell when they'll come back and tell you or anything? No, nothing.
so they said, Cornell guys said that they are going to come back and tell us after the May 1st deadline is over.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what
When
we
we
will end
will,
up doing
yeah,
is,
Okay.
yeah, what we will end up doing is accepting Michigan
yeah, 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 yeah,
and then wait for Cornell, whatever it
yeah.
is that they decide to do.
Okay.
So basically, that is the plan. And for Carnegie, it's the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are, as far as we are concerned, we are very pleased with where he got placed.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's
if
good.
that other one comes, then of course that will open up the discussion again.
Yeah. A bird in hand, but two in the bush.
Exactly, and the two are in the bush actually.
Ah,
The
actually, that's
Carnegie
why
and
two are in the bush.
Cornell, both of them are in
Yeah.
the bush.
Yeah.
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 So we're very happy. So
Yeah.
Allah for namaskaras for all of you.
Sure. Yeah. All the
Uh,
best. Hare
uh,
Shiva.
uh. All right, Vivek.